Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the Music Chat channel. Today we're going to be reviewing an interesting one. I've been asked to go through more disco stuff, pop stuff, and here we are to review Tension by Kylie Minogue. So, Kylie is pretty much the queen of this genre. This is her 16th studio album, and yet, again, another dance pop album from Miss Kylie. As it turns out, the first single was like a huge success called Padam Padam. The actual name of the song is a bit ridiculous if you ask me. Any songwriter would be able to come up with a better name, I think. But the thing is that this formula worked pretty well because this single alone ended up propelling Kylie Minogue back to the top of the charts again, and this pretty much became a summer hit, like no song in her previous album, which was called Disco. Another name, if you ask me. But that one was more like a tribute to 70s actual disco songs, while Tension is more of a dance electronic pop 90s revival, I think. Or is it maybe future disco or 2020s disco? I don't know. So Kylie finally managed to get one song back to the top of the charts after a good few years releasing new music, but of course not coming close to major hits like Can't Get You Out of My Head, Spinning Round, or Love at First Sight. I tell you one thing about Kylie is that she never repeats herself. Like record after record, she kinda presents new stuff, new interpretations of her own songs and genre, and this Tension record definitely confirms that thesis because this kind of sounds new to her, even though she simultaneously sounds very confident in it, if that makes sense, as if she was doing this exact same thing for like years. What we can say is that this is definitely a very strong comeback, especially when you look at the first single of this record, and some might say that it's targeted to a particular audience. I feel sometimes there is just too much of like this glare, cheesy synth pop situations going on, with lyrics being poor and a bit filled of overexcitement. But yes, I hear you guys saying that we need to look at this through a different lens, as in what this is actually designed for. And this is indeed a club dash dance record. It is what it is. These tracks cannot really go anywhere else other than this. So yes, this is a party album for the most part. It's just also a bit odd that the rest of the album doesn't really follow the hints and the tone of Padam Padam. It's just a shame that all of the songs kind of follow the very standard pop and dance cliches. On another note, and what I find really incredible is how Kylie managed to stay relevant after all these years, always coming up with new stuff and kind of reinventing her own music. For any artist in this league, you either go with the same recipe for success, or you try and present new stuff hoping that your audience will remain loyal, and on top of that, maybe more people will start listening to your songs. And so far, Kylie has been successful, I think. So she most definitely is one of our pop queens. She has done loads over the years, and while always reinventing herself, Kylie is always Kylie. You know what to expect. Good quality stuff, most of the time, I would say. You have to admit that she knows what she's doing after 16 records. So looking at this album, I have to admit that, I'm not a huge fan of this record, but still, if I had to point out three okay songs, I would say Padam Padam, Hold On to Now, and Hands. I guess these three songs are very radio friendly, as in an easy listening, and wouldn't offend anyone, I don't think. Then the ones that I would point out as less favorite tracks would be those that are a bit of an overkill, like too much. So on this not so good note, I would highlight Things We Do for Love, Tension, and 10 out of 10. I guess that this record, while successful to some extent, probably has been this successful because of the main hit, Padam Padam. All of the songs aren't really worth it, but it's great that she managed to pull this one off, because this Padam Padam is like in the first league of Kylie's major hits, I would say. So as for my score, I would say that this is a 6 out of 10. I do feel like this is a good addition to Kylie's collection, particularly because of what I highlighted earlier. Within the genre, she tries to reinvent herself, and she definitely presents new ideas and brings new stuff to the table generically. However, I do feel like the whole party situation might be a bit too much when you listen to the record. I mean, it's non-stop. It's a bit bizarre at times, and I just feel like it could have been a bit more inventive and original, as in with more actual focus on the songwriting, on the performance, and on how you would balance the record as a whole. So yes, I guess that if you are into the genre, it's well worth it. I mean, at least you can check it out. Most of you would probably be familiar with the first single, as it was a huge radio hit, but there's a couple of other songs that still might be worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Kylie's Tension album. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.